Welcome to All Things Internet, a show where we talk about things we see on the internet that usually... Oh, that was a noise. I'm going to start over again. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Hello. That's your foot. I just held your foot.
That made me so uncomfy.
I thought it was... I immediately hated it. No, I don't want to touch your feet ever in a gentle, loving manner.
I don't know what to do with this feeling.
Are you confused?
I'm confused.
All right. Sorry. And action. Welcome to All Things Internet, a show where we talk about things we see on the internet that usually have to do with the internet, and everything is allegedly. Because as hard as we try and fact check, we're not perfect. I'm Rachel Ballinger.
I'm Emily Brostaff.
I don't know what's going on in my brain. I do. It's a lack of sleep.
I think that was the first time I've ever heard you admit that you're not perfect.
Whoops. Well, actually, you're the one that fact checks and researches, not me. I'll try to take one for the team because I'm perfect and humble.
It's so amazing.
Thank you.
And you smell good.
Thank you. I like this. Dog of the day is Blaze, but halfway through, it will be Daisy.
Yeah.
Emily has to have her dog come halfway through the day. So, because it's dark. It gets dark early. The dog's alone all day because Emily works full time. So, yeah, Blaze just looked at me like, what in the world? What are you saying? I'm not moving. Anyway, how you doing, Em?
I'm doing good. I feel a lot better.
Oh, yeah. She's been sick.
Oh, my God. I still have like a little bit of a lingering cough and my voice is still a little off. But other than that, my energy is back. I'm sleeping. I feel good. And I'm excited. I get the whole house to myself this weekend.
Yeah, Blaze is in my mouth currently.
I love that.
Get out.
How are you?
Stop it.
Oh, I snuck in there. Did you hear that?
Yeah, you asked me a different question and then went into that. Yeah. I'm exhausted. My period started at 2 a.m. and therefore the cramps and my legs going numb also started at, 2:01 a.m. Did I say p.m. earlier?
No, you said a.m.
Okay, great. Just double checking. And so I didn't sleep last night and I have not taken a nap and I'm on my second coffee and I did do Christmas shopping today. So, life isn't bad, but I'm just really tired.
Yeah.
Stop licking, Blaze. We don't need to hear you cleaning things.
It's Blaze licking ASMR.
No.
Do you
never.
think that channel would do well if we made one? Dog ASMR. It's just them licking themselves for an hour.
Ew, that's like a real perverted fetish type thing.
Let us know down in the comments.
I mean, it's not perverted. Like, I guess they don't do anything to animals.
Oh, why'd you have to go there?
Listen, I said not. I don't know. I think all ASMR is just foul. So
yeah.
I don't know. Okay, yeah. Go to sleep.
Nose ring.
You
Better.
have earned an extra penny this week.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. What's in the news today? Wait, I just have to make this announcement. I'm putting my feet up because I just went shopping in Target for a good hour and I'm exhausted. This is the last episode of this year.
It is.
I didn't make this announcement until
next week. You're back Thursday. You're back Tuesday.
I don't have an episode. We're not posting on Christmas week.
What?
Yeah, we're taking Christmas week and the week after Christmas off.
Wow. Yeah.
You're leaving.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
You're going home for Christmas.
Yeah, I thought we were recording another. This is next week's episode. Continue. It clicked. Got it.
Yeah, I go to the East Coast tomorrow and then I come back. You're in town for like 2 days and then you leave for the East Coast.
Yeah.
We do a little swappity swappity. So, yeah. This is the last episode of 2022. This is the end of season 3.
Wow.
And we will start up in the mid-January.
We've been doing this for a full year.
Oh my God.
That's wild.
Are y'all sick of us yet? Please say no.
Say no.
If you have improvements for the show, please comment them below for next season.
Yeah.
But not like, I hate you, you're ugly. That's just being mean.
Yeah.
Improvements like, I would love it if you had a segment like, blah, 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 blah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I would love if you would sing your own theme song.
Here are the lyrics I wrote for you. So we don't have to do any extra work.
Here are your catchphrases. Here are some merch ideas.
Here are his artwork.
Right.
We wrote out the show for you for the next year.
Oh, that's a good one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Here's all the ads for you.
Yeah. You can leave like multiple comments.
Yeah.
So.
If you want. I am honestly surprised that I guess it's the first year having a full-time assistant, but usually I'm done by now. Like, I'm just toast.
Yeah.
Like, you've been like, you are grumpy this week. I'm like, yeah, it's burnout time. I've been vlogging for 46 days straight. We have posted, we did go back to one main we're at one main channel a week.
Yeah.
But it's a podcast every week, and then every other week is a second podcast. It's time to take a break.
Oh yeah, I feel like those 2 weeks are very deserved.
Yes, so that's what we give ourselves.
2 weeks
just from the podcast. We still vlog and post main channel. It's just the podcast that gets a break.
Yeah,
because there's seasons. So season 4 will start up next year.
Yeah, with all of your great new suggestions
and work done for us. Thank you. I appreciate it. You will be credited if we take that idea and remember to credit you. Because sometimes we see things and we're like, oh my God, that's a really good idea. And then later we go, I made up this idea, not realizing that someone had put it in our brains. We genuinely think it's our own.
Or we can't find the comment again. I'll be good about that. If you leave a good suggestion that we're going to use, I will screenshot it and we'll give you credit. How about that?
Yeah, Emily will do that.
Yes.
All right, let's get into the news.
Okay. So to start, one of my favorite podcasts just recently announced that they're no longer making episodes. And this makes me depressed.
What podcast? Rachel Uncensored's still going.
Oh, that's right. All right. Next story. It's called Violating Community Guidelines, and Sarah Schauer and Brittany Broski, also known as the Kombucha Girl on TikTok. Everyone knows who Brittany Broski is at this point.
Yeah.
They have a podcast together. It's called Violating Community Guidelines. They talk about anything and everything having to do with the internet. So they're both comedians, and their episodes are like gold. Like, I'm rolling laughing every episode. And they talk about things like online video games, trends. They read Reddit threads. They just do anything that has to do with the internet.
Yeah, okay.
And they like usually cover it all. Well, they announced earlier this week that their podcast was coming to an end, and they posted, well, you made it. The very final episode of Violating Community Guidelines. We want to thank you all. We want to thank all you weirdos for joining us on this wild ride through the wackiest corners of the internet. It's been real, but fear not. We have one final parting gift for you. All you real weirdos out there. From December 19th, we're releasing a series. Basically, they're posting bonus episodes. So this shocked a ton of people, including myself, because their podcast was super popular, really well received. They got tons of listens, like 500,000 to 1 million views sometimes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And they even recently went touring with the show. So
were they getting brand deals?
Oh yeah. So no one
must have been personal.
That's what everyone's thinking, because no one saw this coming. And especially because in the last episode that they posted, they reminded everyone to subscribe to the channel, to subscribe to their Instagram.
Oh, so this is sudden.
This is sudden.
Okay, so either one, they're getting sued. This is all allegedly.
Allegedly.
I got sued. Can't talk about it. I won. Don't worry about it. Did it cost me lots of money because I was stubborn? Yes. Did I win? Yes. Legally, I've been told not to talk about it.
Got it.
Then what was I gonna say? Oh, or they're starting something else, but they can't release it yet. Like, they just signed for something else. Emily's saying no.
Sort of. Keep going though. I like your theories.
Thank you. These are off the top of my head because I didn't know anything about this. 2, one of them just stabbed the other right before they filmed the last episode. Have to call it quits. Or one of them's moving.
Okay. Well, and then they live together. So this makes it even more awkward. They share
maybe they weren't able to, they were fighting over how to split the money.
Maybe.
Because that's a big thing.
Yeah. So like in the very last episode, they were saying subscribe. You know, they were basically implying there was going to be more episodes coming out. So then why, like, everyone's basically saying, like, why would you ask people to subscribe if you knew that was your last episode? So someone even commented on that episode and said,
oh, so in the last episode, they didn't say it was the last episode.
No. It was just, that's what I'm saying. It was just a regular episode.
Something had to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, something had to happen.
And at the end of the episode, they were like, don't forget to subscribe and like and follow us for more. So like they were implying, like there was, rewind. There was no implication that this was the last episode or that anything was happening.
Yeah, because you have to tell people, it's like, I just said it was the last one for 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah, and so someone commented and said, sorry, it's really small. Someone said, it's strange that the actual end of the podcast barely mentions it and still encourages us to subscribe. Really gives the impression that it was not intended to be the last episode as they filmed it and was only decided after the fact. So people are basically alleging that the two of them either had a massive falling out, which is why this came to an end so quickly, or that their production company dropped them, or something else big happened.
Yeah.
So Sarah, one of the co-hosts, got on Twitter and she tweeted out, I want to tweet vague things. I want to give y'all a big old glance and I want you to get the gist, but we're just gonna have to wait a bit. Let's all just relax for now. To which someone replied, Studio 71 is so annoying for dropping y'all because their production company is called Studio 71.
Okay.
So people are like, oh, your production company must have just like canceled the show. To which she replied, oh, they didn't. So the production.
Oh, that sounds personal.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like it is very personal, has absolutely nothing to do with production.
And then someone else tweeted at her and said, wait, so is it forever over or just for the season? And she tweeted back, it's done, period. So she seems
better.
A little better, yeah. And then a few days later, Brittany made a guest appearance on the H3 podcast with Ethan Klein, where she talked about her plans for her future career. And she said that she has wanted to have her own show for a really long time now. And she wants it to be like the Hot Ones show where she basically oh, you do, where they have
I love you. I love your faith in me.
No,
you do. You know this one. Don't worry.
Come on,
Grandma.
Really scraping the back of the brain. You know you got it. No, it's the one where they have celebrity guests on and they have to answer questions while they're eating hotter and hotter wings.
Oh.
See?
I do know it. I've never watched an episode, but I've seen clips.
The clips, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So she said she's always wanted a show like that where she interviews celebrities. She has like a little spiel that she does or like a little shtick that she does every episode. And she said that it's finally happening. So
she's probably leaving to do that?
I think so, but why would you not tell your partner?
Maybe because she knew it wouldn't end well.
That's so, like, again,
but you can do two things at once. You just have to reschedule it.
Right. Like, yeah, because I know she does social media full time.
Yeah.
So she does TikTok, Instagram.
She's a content creator.
Correct. So it's like, it's not like she's trying to balance this with like another job. Like, this is her job, is content creating. So a lot of people are saying that too. They're like, if you're creating your own show, can't you schedule the podcast in? And like
we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
This is all allegedly.
Right.
I don't know either of these women. I know both of them are very funny and I enjoy both of their content. I've never watched their podcast or listened because I'm a terrible person. I just don't have time.
You don't have time.
I literally don't have time. But I know that they did have a podcast and that they did live together. Through TikTok, you learn things. I have no, like.
None of us are ever going to know.
No, that is, I think this is a reoccurring thing we say on the show is we will never know the truth. It's not our freaking business.
Right.
We're curious.
But
we'll never really know what happened.
Unless one of them comes forward. And it sounds like maybe Sarah's.
But then you only get their truth.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like Sarah's kind of amping up to say something eventually.
Yeah, she wants to.
Yeah. So, and Brittany confirmed on the H3 podcast where she was talking about starting this new show. She said she's not going to go through a production company. She wants to do everything herself out of her own studio, which she built in her spare bedroom, and that she has celebrity guests ready to go. And so people are basically asking if she knew this was coming, because it's very clear she knew this was coming. If she knew this was coming, why wouldn't they do a final episode where they were going to announce that it was the end? So, like, why would they end it so abruptly with no explanation? And everyone's kind of wondering if she screwed Sarah over in the process. But again, we will never know until they come
Someone
forward.
says something.
Yeah. And at this point, they're going to go one of two directions. They're either going to never address it again and just completely hope that people move on, or...
Well, if all the PR in me says neither side speaks ever. Like, that's what they should do. Because if one tries to drag the other, you're going to get dragged down too.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to split the fandom.
Yeah.
There's no reason to start the drama. It will backfire.
Yeah.
It always backfires. If PR will tell you every single time, shut up.
Yeah.
So a lot of time
I want them to speak so that I can know.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm a curious little kitty cat right now. I was about to say burr. I was trying
burr. Interesting.
Meow. My brain is not on. I also don't make animal noises.
No.
Nope. So
Let's not speak of this again. Okay.
See, this is why my dog immediately shot his head up. And I was like, what are you
Startled
doing?
him.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we'll never know. But if you want to tell us, you know,
I'll go for it.
slide into
The
one of
PR
our-
in me says, don't talk unless it's a production company you're mad at.
Yes, which is made
But
clear.
don't
It's
drag
not.
another content creator.
Right. So Sarah or
So,
Brittany,
there you go.
if you want to slide into
You could
Rachel's
just-
DMs,
I keep my mouth shut
we'll keep your secret.
because PR has told me to keep my mouth shut.
Right, exactly. So
But you can let me know.
let us know.
You can be on Rachel Uncensored if you want.
Let us know down in the comments below.
Or you can slide into my DMs. I'll follow both of you right now.
There you go. Okay, so next topic. Remember how we reported on the whole David Dobrik and Jeff Wittick incident a few months ago?
Enlighten me.
To refresh your memory, basically, David Dobrik, one of the biggest YouTubers to ever exist, and his friends rented an excavator and they decided to tie a rope to it.
Oh, and he went flying and
Yeah.
broke everything?
David was the one. So they did it for a video. They rented this giant, I think it was an excavator or crane or something.
Flynn would be so mad at you right
He
now.
would be disappointed
How dare
in me.
you?
They rented some huge machinery, tied a rope to it, and they were taking turns swinging around on it. Well, when it was Jeff's turn to swing on the rope, David was the one controlling the machine
Yeah.
and ended up spinning him super, super, super fast to the point where David went flinging off. Or no, Jeff went flinging off and ended up in the hospital. And he got so hurt, like so hurt. And David, who, just to remind you, was controlling the machine, according to Jeff, never apologized, never checked in on him, never visited him in the hospital, despite always referring to Jeff as one of his best friends. And now Jeff is suing David, and the vlog squad broke up and friendships were ruined and, yada, yada, yada. Well, apparently when David opened up his pizza shop, remember Dobrik's, a few weeks back, Tana was invited to attend and did. And Jeff found out about it. And now, for those of you that don't know, Tana and Jeff are best friends.
I didn't know this.
Yeah. So Tana and Jeff
I literally don't know what Jeff looks like.
Oh, he's a cutie.
Okay.
Yeah. They do a podcast together. They hang out all the time. They're really good friends. But obviously Tana was friends with David as well.
Yeah,
So,
it's also PR to go.
yeah, she's trying to balance both sides at this point. Like she's trying to still stay in the vlog squad realm, but she's also trying to support Jeff and be no, what happened to you was messed up and David's in the wrong. Well, when she was invited to the grand opening of Dobrik's, David purposely took selfies with Tana and posted them to his Instagram story so that Jeff would see it. Well, that's what
you can't say that's why he did that.
That's what people are alleging.
He's also a businessman and knows that Tana gets views.
Not as much as him though. It's one of those
things.
It
It doesn't matter. If I met up with someone that's a smaller content creator than me, I'm still going to take a picture with them and post it on the internet.
Yeah.
So you cannot, that one was a stretch. You cannot say, you can say this is what he did, but not why he did it.
Yes. Okay. So he took pictures with Tana and posted them. Okay. And people online are saying, you never post pictures with Tana. You're doing
I'm also not defending Dobrik at all.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just saying that was a far stretch to be this is why he did it.
Yeah. It's just all the tweets I'm seeing of people being and I don't follow David. I've never really found him that entertaining to the point where I'd need to follow him.
Okay.
And so I didn't see this. I was just looking at the tweets that were coming out and people were being so I can't confirm or deny this, but people are you never post pictures with Tana. You'll do occasional videos with her, but you never post pictures of her. So they're basically saying you're being a doo-doo head. You're doing this to upset Jeff.
Or to legally prove even Jeff's friends don't think it was that bad.
Ooh.
It could have been a legal route. I'm telling you, he might be a poopy person, but he is very smart business-wise.
Or at least he has very smart business people working for him.
Yes.
Yeah. So Jeff decided to bring this all up on their podcast and basically called her out and was saying that when he found out that she was at the party, that it almost ruined their friendship. Tana even said, I didn't think I'd be invited back to this podcast, once you saw the picture.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why'd she go?
Because she loves attention.
Yeah, she does.
And she really is trying to play both sides, and support Jeff, but also, David and all of those people are her best friends.
Yeah.
So it's a really tough situation.
Yeah.
And so she kind of, when he called her out on it, she kind of tried to blow over it and say things along the lines of well, I gave up a ton of friendships for you to prove that I'm on your side and I love you. And she even revealed during the podcast that allegedly, according to her, the Vlog Squad members were told by David that no matter how much they miss him, they are not allowed to reach out to him. So that's messed up. And all of this like still wasn't consoling Jeff in any way. So he ended up going on this rant about why the whole Vlog Squad chose to take David's side instead of his, even though clearly David was in the wrong. And he said it was because they use him for his fame and money.
Yeah.
That they don't actually care about the friendships.
Yeah.
And then he ended up saying, and this is his exact quote, "What if I told you that my accident wasn't as much of an accident as it was a failed prank that I wasn't in on? And then when it came down to it and I was in the hospital and they filled out the accident report, they lied and said I was the one that was driving." So he's basically saying that David purposely flung him super fast because he wanted it to be a prank and like Jeff to freak out. It ended up backfiring.
Yeah.
Jeff ended up in the hospital with all these broken bones and injuries. And then when David was handed the accident report at the hospital, he filled it out. Like, I don't know if that's illegal. Like, is that illegal to fill out an accident report wrong?
I don't know. I don't know if you're under oath with police or filing a false report with the police. But I don't know if at a hospital it is.
Yeah, I don't know. But Jeff's claiming that they put on the paperwork that Jeff was the one that was driving. Which
How would that even happen? How did he throw himself?
I don't know.
What the
and it's on film. Like, how are you going to lie? It's online.
That one's whoopsie doopsie.
Right. So, yeah, if this is true and they did falsify an accident report and, you know, this was all an elaborate prank and was on purpose and went wrong, you know, whatever, Jeff could actually win this lawsuit. And David could get in a ton of trouble.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right, what else we got? Hi, Blish Boy. Thank you for my kisses. Thank you.
All right.
Big alligator. You're the biggest alligator in the whole wide world. And we're back. Hello.
Hello.
Continue.
All right. On Monday, the trial between Meg Thee Stallion and the Canadian rapper / hip hop artist Tory Lanez began.
For what?
He allegedly shot her 3 times after receiving criticism from her about his music.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
Yes. So according to BuzzFeed News, Meg's attorney claims that Lanez and Megan got into an argument while riding in an SUV after leaving a party thrown by Kylie Jenner in Hollywood Hills.
Oh, as you do.
Right.
Normal circumstances.
Yeah, back in July of 2020, and Megan asked to be let out of the vehicle once they started arguing.
Okay. And
she was standing out. He had pulled over. She had gotten out of the vehicle when all of a sudden Lanez screamed at her, "Dance, B word," and allegedly shot at her feet multiple times.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she says that the doctors pulled 3 bullet fragments out of her feet, and he's facing charges including assault with a semi-automatic firearm and carrying a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle. And then they also filed a 3rd charge on the 5th for discharging a firearm with gross negligence. And if he's convicted, he can go to prison for up to 22 years. But he pled not guilty to all 3 charges, which is dumb because it's already been established that he apologized for the whole incident over text message.
Oh, there you go. So that's dumb.
Yeah, where he says it only happened because he was so drunk. LOL. So.
Whoopsie. You know, whenever I'm drunk.
Mm-hmm. You know what I want to do when I'm drunk?
No, you know what I've never had the urge to do when I'm drunk?
Oh, interesting. Let's hear it.
Shoot someone.
Oh.
Commit sexual assault.
Whoa.
Say the N-word. You know, be a bad person.
Fascinating.
Right?
Alcohol does not have that effect on you?
No, it just amplifies who I am, where I giggle more, I dance more.
Yeah.
I become a lot more friendly.
Wow.
But always consensually.
That's wild.
Right?
What? So back in 2020, when all this first happened, the internet came for Meg. It's saying that she was lying, that she was attention seeking. They were basically hounding on her and trying to cancel her.
Yeah.
And it got so bad, she ended up writing a guest essay for the New York Times where she called out society's failures to protect Black women and treat them with respect.
Yeah.
And she wrote, "Even as a victim, I've been met with skepticism and judgment. The way people have publicly questioned and debated whether I played a role in my own violent assault proves that my fears about discussing what happened were unfortunately warranted." So we will see how this trial progresses, and we'll just keep reporting back on it.
Yeah, I saw a meme the other day that was like, women, you can't walk alone at night. There is danger. Women, you cannot walk to the car by yourself. There is danger. Women, you need to lock your doors. There is danger. Woman, I have been put in danger. Seems unlikely. I don't know how that would happen.
Right.
What?
Yeah. It's
all right. Well, all right. Next.
So according to BuzzFeed News, let me restart. It's not just according to BuzzFeed News. It's everywhere, but this specific information is from BuzzFeed. 3 members of Congress introduced a bill on Tuesday that would ban TikTok from operating in the U.S. So
is Trump still on this?
No, now it's just Congress in general, and it's mainly Republicans, but there are some Democrats that are in on it too.
But for what?
Because remember a few months ago, it was confirmed by the company that runs or does backgrounds on like apps and stuff. It was confirmed that there was a data leak in China. Like China.
I'm sure they have all our data. Everyone has all our data.
Yes.
Everybody has my data.
Right.
Like, yes. I'm surprised my identity has not been stolen.
Knock on some wood.
Please don't attempt. I'd be very sad. I'm trying to be a good person.
Please,
especially with my money. I try to be nice.
Yes. So back a few months ago when it was confirmed that China was able to pull our data from TikTok, that's when everything got...
What data?
I don't know.
How old we are, where we live, what we like. That's called an algorithm.
Right. Please.
That is what you need to function on the social medias.
Send me targeted ads. I love them.
How else am I gonna? That's literally when I want to do a video about something, I start Googling it for like 3 minutes, and then I just go on Instagram and TikTok and get targeted ads. I'm like, fantastic.
It is the best thing. The one thing I just popped in my head that I do have to mention is the Democratic member that came forward and agreed with this bill being passed. He said the only reason he's in agreement with it is because he doesn't want foreign countries influencing our politics. So that's his concern. Because you know how Russia meddled?
Yeah.
Are we saying allegedly? I feel like it's not anymore. I feel like it's been proven that Russia meddled in the Biden-Trump election. According to
research.
According to the interwebs. The face of the books have told me. Yeah. So these lawmakers are basically saying, some of them are saying like, well, we don't want them having our data, but they're not actually saying like what that data is. But then other people are saying we don't want them influencing the upcoming elections.
Isn't that, you're able to do that whether you have our data or not, right?
I think it's easier when they're able to make, because the problem with Trump, the whole Trump and Biden election is when, it was Trump and Hillary. When Trump and Hillary were running against each other, it was Russia was making targeted ads to people who were on the fence and giving false claims.
Yeah, I get that.
To sway people. So that is a little, but why TikTok? Do that for Facebook.
Yeah, because TikTok has never steered me wrong. I've never been on the, one time I was on straight teenage girl algorithm and I was like, No. And I like literally shut down the app and didn't go on for several days.
It needed to be punished.
It did. Don't show me that. And then like it was showing me like straight little white boys doing weird dancing
like
and
crotch grabbing.
Yeah, the crotch grab. I was repulsed.
Yeah.
But on Instagram lately, sorry, I'm blanking because I'm extremely tired. The WNBA player who just got released, Brittany. Yes, I was getting anti-Brittany posts on Instagram.
I started getting those on TikTok.
And I was like, what? Immediately not interested.
Right.
And I started getting conservative memes on my Instagram. And I was like, what led me here?
I was about to say, what did you Google?
I didn't.
What did you do to deserve this?
I was liking videos of animals and farms.
Farms.
Is
That's
it farms?
What did it. Farmland.
I like the cows and the piggies.
I do too.
But like, I don't know. I was like, wait. I read a few of them and I was like, I don't get it. Where's the joke? And then I was like, oh, wait, this isn't a joke.
I've been on TikTok before where I got a really conservative, like small-minded TikTok. And then I was like waiting for the stitch to pop in.
Yeah.
And it never did. And I was like, oh no.
I didn't mean to give you a view.
Yeah,
I'm so
exactly.
confused.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The targeted ads, the targeted stuff was very confusing. Like usually,
right.
I don't know. Right.
Anyway. So
I just expect everyone to have my data. When I'm on
Yeah.
my phone or my computer, I just expect that to be just like public knowledge,
Right.
basically. I don't search anything that I wouldn't want people to know I'm searching.
yes. Sorry, that sentence confused me for a second, but I'm with you.
Like if you just showed my Google search, I wouldn't be embarrassed.
people would just know how stupid I am.
Yeah, I'd be like, how do you spell discipline?
Orange. Someone could be literally holding a weapon to my head and be like, spell restaurant.
Nope.
The
Wait, no, Abby and I in Europe. We were the only two people we could talk to for a month. So the conversations got to, did I help her spell exercise and she helped me spell restaurant?
EXC, no, nope. EXERCISE.
I think. I'm visual. I have to look at it.
Yeah.
But restaurant.
Yeah, no, the amount of times I literally type into Google or I'll do
restaurant.
I'll do the speak to text, the talk to text, and I'll go
yeah.
restaurant. So
Yeah.
like my security camera in my apartment just hears me go restaurant like 10 times a week. It's so bad.
I still don't know the difference between affect and effect, so I just use a different word.
Effect is verb.
Past, PAST or PASSED.
PE.
I go back then or went by.
Past with an A is time. ED is a verb.
T for time.
Yeah. Oh, someone in the comments is gonna be like, actually.
Well, it's I before E except after C except for the other 100 words, but we don't look at that, and so obviously T is for time, but A and effect, and I'm like, none of this makes sense.
Yes. Anyway, so
that was a rant. Okay.
okay, so Senator Mark Rubio, who is trash, has said he's the one that introduced the bill, or like at least is the main supporter, and he said this isn't about creative videos. Actually, that is exactly what TikTok is about. Anyway, he said this is about an app that is collecting data on tens of millions of American children and adults every day, and the bill would block and prohibit all transactions of TikTok and its parent company ByteDance. And another representative was quoted saying that the legislation is taking a strong step towards protecting Americans from, this is quite a sentence, are you ready?
Yeah.
The nefarious digital surveillance and influence operations of a
you lost me at the word nefarious.
Totalitarian regime.
Totalitarian.
Yeah, whatever. So, and Senate actually already passed legislation on Wednesday evening. So we're filming this on a Thursday. So last night they passed legislation that bans TikTok from U.S. government devices. So that,
okay, well, that's smart.
yeah, if the government is giving you a second device, like a work phone or a work computer,
Yeah, you can't do anything on that.
You don't need TikTok on that. That's fine.
Didn't
Whatever.
Hillary Clinton get in trouble because she was using her personal phone for business related matter? Like, we know that that's like not okay.
Right. So fine.
Like, she made that boo-boo already.
Right. So whatever, have that, but don't take away. What am I supposed to do for 5 hours a night? Self-care?
Go back to YouTube.
Oh, go back to YouTube.
YouTube Shorts, everybody. They're not as fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great. Subscribe.
Right. So that's that.
All right.
All right, switching gears, we have the because it's sad.
I need to go to bed.
Yes.
It's 5:40 p.m.
Oh my God. She'll be in bed by 6:15.
No, I won't. I have so much work to do. I leave tomorrow for a few days, so I gotta get everything done.
I'll help you. Okay, so we have the incredibly sad news of Twitch passing away this week. So Twitch was a father and husband who quickly rose to fame after competing on So You Think You Can Dance, and I think he did eventually become a judge on the show.
Yeah.
And he was also a co-executive producer and permanent DJ on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Mm-hmm.
And according to the LA Medical Examiner's Office, he took his own life on Tuesday night at a hotel. He had just recently celebrated
a motel.
A motel?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. He just recently celebrated his 9-year anniversary with his wife, Allison, and she gave a statement to BuzzFeed saying, "It's with the heaviest of hearts that I have to share that my husband, Steven, has left us. Steven lit up every room he stepped into. He valued family, friends, and community above all else, and leading with love and light was everything to him. He was the backbone of our family, the best husband and father, and an inspiration to his fans." And I love the last line. she goes on for a bit, and it's, if you want to read it, it's an incredible statement. But the very last line, she says, "Steven, we love you, we miss you, and I will always save the last dance for you." That one got me.
Yeah.
And he had 3 children, Wesley, Maddox, and well, why did I not spell this out all the way? Zaya, I think is how you pronounce the third. And just as a reminder, this just got implemented a few months ago, but you can dial 988 in the US to reach the National Suicide Prevention Hotline if you need it.
You truly do not know what's going on in people's lives.
Yeah.
Or in their head or their heart.
It was really sad seeing all of these like production companies like BuzzFeed and why am I blanking, like Vice and, you know, TMZ coming forward and posting that just like 48 hours before it happened, he was posting this like dancing video with his wife and he looked so happy. And yeah, it's just,
you really don't know.
You never know.
Yeah. I know people who knew him personally and they were like, he was a fantastic human.
Yeah.
So that just sucks.
Yeah. He always seemed like a really good guy.
Yeah.
All right. Switching gears again. There we go. Sunday night in San Francisco at the Dave Chappelle show. Towards the end of his set, Dave shouted into the crowd, "Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the richest man in the world." And that's when Elon walked onto the stage.
What?
It was very strange. And the crowd, thank you, people. I mean, not thank you for supporting Dave Chappelle because he's a trash human.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, he's very transphobic.
Oh,
it makes it very apparent during his comedy shows.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not good. So, no for going to the show and supporting him. But side note, a little tiny whisper of a thank you for booing Elon Musk.
Yeah, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, every time Elon even attempted to open his mouth a crack to talk, the booing got so loud that it drowned him out over the microphone that he was holding.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's comedy.
Yep. So Dave tried to make jokes out of the whole booing, commenting on how like the booing was only coming from the nosebleed section. So it must be people that's like jealous of Elon for being so successful because they're poor in the nosebleeds. And then he tried to make a joke about how the only people in the crowd that were booing were the former Twitter employees that Elon must have let go.
Wow, way to make jokes about a bunch of people getting fired from their job.
Or being poor.
Yeah,
hilarious.
Wow. You're right on the money there, buddy.
Right. So the boos just continued, and then Elon eventually shouted out, I had to watch the video. I was so uncomfortable. He shouted out, "I'm rich. B word. I'm rich."
Yeah.
Which,
where's the joke?
so this is an old, well-known line from one of Dave's earlier shows. Like,
okay.
But it didn't go over well. So then they started booing even louder. And so that's when the sound crew started blowing an air horn to try and get the crowd to shut up. Yeah. And then Chappelle even yelled a few minutes later, "Shut the F up," into the crowd. And the whole thing was just so embarrassing.
Did people walk out?
I don't know, because what I was watching was someone's personal footage from their phone, and they were pretty close to the stage.
Okay.
So I couldn't really see it, and it was like zoomed in on the stage, so I couldn't see what was going on in the crowd. But yeah. And then
how embarrassing.
And then later on after the show, Elon ended up tweeting out, "Technically, it was 90% cheers and 10% boos, but still, that's a lot of boos, which is a first for me in real life. It's almost as if I've offended San Francisco's unhinged leftists." Okay.
How does he know the percentages of the boos versus cheers?
His little robot brain. I'm sure he has a chip in there somewhere.
All right, because I don't know how you would be able to tell that, but because if the boos were so loud, you had to blow an air horn.
Right.
Not a chance.
Oh, no. If you watch the footage, it's very clear that everyone was booing. And then also, random update. Did you see that Elon is no longer the richest man in the world?
No, who is?
It's Bernard Arnault. But he only...
Oil or jewels?
Designer fashion brands.
Wow, did not expect that one.
Yeah, so he's the CEO. I would expect like an oil company.
That's what I said, oil or jewels.
Yeah. He's the CEO of LVMH, which owns Louis Vuitton, Dior, Tiffany, and
he owns all the big designer ones.
Right. So he snagged the top spot only by accident. So he's at
I would love to accidentally become the richest person in the world.
Right. How does one do this?
Please tell me.
He's sitting at the top spot with $172.9 billion. Cute. But he snagged that spot only because Elon, so the majority of his wealth is in his Tesla stocks.
Okay.
And Tesla plummeted on Monday.
What? What'd we do?
No idea. So it dropped, but because it plummeted, his worth dropped from 340 billion to only 168.5 billion.
Wow, so he almost got cut in half. He got cut in half.
Yeah, and apparently the Tesla stock prices have been going down by 50% over the year. And then after buying Twitter for 44 billion, he had to sell 15 billion of Tesla shares to finance the purchase. So too bad. Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. This one is a quick one, but I thought it was cute. So we just recently celebrated the 10-year anniversary of IKEA Monkey. Do you remember IKEA Monkey?
No, I have no idea what IKEA Monkey is.
What? It was like really big back in 2012. This photo of, I know some of our listeners are like, I wasn't even born.
It's 10 years ago.
Yeah, this photo of this, I can't remember what type of monkey it was. It was small. It was this tiny monkey, and it was dressed in this heavy winter jacket, and it was looking out the doors of an IKEA entrance, like through the glass, and it was like deemed the IKEA monkey, and it went like super, super, super viral, and there were like all these memes about it, and people were wondering what it was.
I was graduating college in 2012. I think I was too busy to be looking at memes.
Interesting. That is how I made it through college.
I was hanging out with people.
Oh, same. No. Well, basically, it was really cute. It was really viral. And this website ended up doing an update on him because it was the 10-year anniversary on the 9th of this picture.
Okay.
And his name is, and I've never heard answers of why there was a monkey in a winter coat in IKEA by itself.
Why would you know? In 2012, like we barely had iPhones.
Right. We wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
So his name is Darwin, and he was about 6 months old in the photograph, and he apparently escaped his owner's car, and the owner was shopping in IKEA, and got lost in IKEA trying to look for his owner.
Where was this?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. And once he got picked up, he was relocated to Storybook Farm Primate Sanctuary in Ontario, so maybe Canada, which is obviously a monkey sanctuary, and he's been living there for the last 10 years. He adjusted quickly and spends most of his days with his monkey best friend, Maximus.
So did his owner lose custody of him?
Yeah, she tried to sue to get him back, but they said no. So either she was living in a place where it was illegal to own monkeys, or they were just like, you're not responsible.
Yeah, you left your monkey in the car.
At an IKEA.
That it could escape.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So he has lots of fun at his little sanctuary.
Love it.
Are you ready for some good news?
Yeah, give me a couple.
All right. So Biden signed a Marriage Equality Act into law this week.
So what does that mean?
Okay. So do you remember after Roe versus Wade got overturned, we were all worried that the Supreme Court was going to do the same thing for same-sex and interracial marriage?
Yes.
Because the premise of Roe versus Wade also applied to Obergefell versus Hodges, which keeps same-sex and interracial marriage legal.
Yeah.
And so we were all scared that that's what they were coming for next. So on Tuesday, Biden signed the Respect for Marriage Act into law, guaranteeing that the federal government recognizes marriages for same-sex and interracial couples. So according to NPR, even if the Supreme Court does overturn Obergefell versus Hodges and states do decide to make same-sex marriage illegal, like they won't perform it. Like it doesn't.
Oh, they can't perform it, but federally it is recognized. So that you could go to a different state and be married.
Exactly.
And you federally will be married. Got it.
Exactly. So even like, let's say like California, it would never, but let's say California overturns and says that they won't recognize same-sex marriages anymore. If, let's say, Washington allowed it, you could go to Washington, get the marriage, and when you came back, even though you couldn't get married in California, they still have to give you all the same benefits. They have to recognize it.
Got it.
So
Okay.
it was really good. It's a really big deal.
Yeah, good. Glad. I'm glad.
This was awesome. It just sucks though, because like, do you know how privileged you have to be to like, one, have a car, be able to take the time off work, go to a different state, pay for like the license. You can't even get married in your own state.
The camera just died real quick. Hold on.
I hate that.
Sorry, our camera died, our battery. I need to get new batteries. I apologize. Anyway, yes, people that can go out of state to get married are very privileged.
Yeah, so it just sucks for people that aren't able to take the time off work or have a car. And could you imagine like wanting to get married and like you have to like, even if you can afford to go to another state to get married, now you have to ask all your family and friends to travel to another state.
Yeah.
So that part sucks, but like it's a step in the right direction. He should have done this for Roe versus Wade, and he was a poo-poo head for not. But yeah, we'll give him this one.
All right. Yeah.
All right. And then Talia Thomas was on the clock at her job working the register when she noticed a customer walked in and he started rifling through the trash can right next to the front door. And he ended up grabbing 2 boxes out of the waste bin and strapping them to his feet before walking out again. So he was...
Oh, he needed shoes.
Yeah, he was, someone who's experiencing homelessness, and he had to resort to using packing boxes as shoes because it was too cold outside to walk around barefoot.
Yeah.
So as soon as Talia noticed, she ran out of the store, chased after him, called him back into the store where she took off her purple retro Jordans and handed them over without thinking.
Wow.
Yeah. She later told CBS that he said to her that nobody would ever give me shoes like this. And then she responded with, well, I'm not everybody. I was always taught to help others. You never know what their problems are or what they're going through. And the only reason this story like got out and went viral in the first place is because Talia's manager, Tom Angus, stopped by the store to check in on things, and he noticed Talia was walking around in socks, and he was like, okay. And she told him what happened, and he decided to watch the CCTV footage, and he shared a clip of the whole interaction online, and it went like super viral, especially like on Facebook where all the old people are. And he actually ended up buying her a new pair of shoes before her shift was over that day. And after telling all of the other employees at the company, they all chipped in for a shoe fund for her so that she could replace her Jordans. But then she ended up using the money to buy a second bed for her home because right now she's the sole caretaker of her mother. And she was like sleeping on the floor and couch, and her mom was sleeping in the bed. So now she has a second bed that she can sleep in every night.
She gave up shoes and got a bed. That's cute.
Right?
Yeah.
And got a new, like, she didn't get her purple Jordans back, but her boss did buy her new shoes, which
That's
is nice.
awesome. And great for the boss to be like, hey, let me do a step. I have a little bit more money than you. Like,
right. Yeah. All right. This is our last good news. Really freaking cute.
Okay.
All right. So you know how when you adopt a dog, you have to register it with your like state or county, and then you have to apply for a dog license?
Yes.
Or at least you should.
Yes. My dogs all have their licenses.
Well, after receiving her very first stuffed animal unicorn, a little girl in California named Madeline wanted to make sure she was following the rules.
This, yes.
Mm-hmm. So she did what any responsible 6-year-old would do, and she wrote a letter to the Department of Animal Care and Control and requested an official unicorn license. And so she wrote, "Dear LA County, I would like your approval if I can have a unicorn in my backyard, if I can find one. Please send me a letter in response." And so they ended up sending her like such an official letter back.
Oh, that is very official.
Right. And it said, Miss Madeline, thank you so much for your letter requesting permission to have a unicorn in your backyard. I'm pleased to tell you that the Los Angeles County Department of Animal Care and Control does license unicorns under the following conditions. The unicorn must be cared for in compliance with all animal caretaking regulations set forth under Code 10. The unicorn must be given regular access to sunlight, moonbeams, and rainbows. The unicorn must be fed one of its favorite treats, watermelon, at least once a week. The unicorn's horn must be maintained in good health. This requires polishing at least once a month with a soft cloth. Any sparkles or glitter used on the unicorn must be non-toxic, biodegradable to ensure the unicorn's good health.
Wow, they looked into unicorn stuff.
Right.
They went above and beyond. That's adorable.
Yeah.
I love that.
It was very wholesome.
All right. That's it for today. That's it for this season.
So weird.
That's okay. We'll be back in a couple weeks for season 4.
Or will we?
Dun, dun, dun.
Don't forget to subscribe. Puts out a statement a week later.
I hate Emily.
Rachel smells bad.
Well,
maybe. That's it though. Please, if you ever think of something, a segment you want us to do or something you'd like us to add to the podcast, please let us know below. We do kind of want to, change things up a little bit for the next season, but we don't quite know what. We don't obviously want to redo the whole show because I think you guys like this show. So we're not going to completely change it, but if there's artwork, a segment, a little thing you want us to do here or there, please tell us below or DM us, whatever you want to do. I don't care. Just tell us.
I would say if you don't mind me saying, I'd say DM me.
I don't check them as much as Emily does.
I check them every day.
I check them when I remember that they're there. Which, well, could be daily, could be weekly, could be monthly.
Could be once a
Could
year.
be, I've definitely missed some pretty big DMs. Because I just forgot that they exist. Comments and Emily's DMs are the safest. If you want to try for mine, hey, I love it.
Shoot your shot.
Shoot your freaking shot. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for being here this season. Thank you to all our sponsors who have sponsored us this season and keep the show going. I love you guys so much. Emily, I love you.
I love you.
It was a great season with you.
It really was.
It made it. I mean, having you is way easy for me. I just show up.
There you go.
Love it. All right. I love you guys. I love you, Em.
I love you.
And we'll see you next year.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of All Things Internet. Please make sure to like and follow our podcast on whichever platform you're currently listening to it on. And make sure to follow us at Podcast ATI on Twitter, where you can ask questions and get the latest updates on our show. We love you. Thanks for listening. I'm Rachel Ballinger, and this has been All Things Internet.